I was in my living room today and I was looking at some rocks that the girls had collected. I looked out my living room window and there was this girl, this black woman. It just like hit me and I was like, wow, like Grandma was right. That is the most beautiful person I have ever seen in my life.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren
and I'm Maureen.
So in today's episode, you're going to be listening to a palm-colored woman as she tells us her experience with her grandmother. Something in particular her grandmother used to tell her about black people, but she didn't believe it until she had her own personal experience with a black woman. Right, and we felt like this was a good way to start an episode in this new year, right? So if it's your first time here, kindly consider subscribing. Also, let us know what you think about this video on the comment section. We'll be coming back with our commentaries and our own opinion later. But for now, let's watch and then we come back and talk about it.
Let us know what you think about this episode.
I just saw a black woman. Okay, let me start over. It will make sense. Just hear me out. My grandma was a very important person in my life. She was very open-minded, kind of a heavy evergreener. She was kind of a hippie. Anyway, she had property up in Mount Rainier, and next to her property was this really big river, and we would go there and we would like take rocks, and we'd always look for rocks that had like really crazy patterns on it, like white streaks going down, or ones that look like granite, or maybe it was shaped like a heart. Like we just tried to find the most unique rocks. And when I was picking out all these rocks and I showed my grandma, she wasn't disappointed, but she was just like, very cute, very cute. And then she said, have you ever tried to find a rock that was very dark? I mean, very dark, almost black. And I was like, no. Like, I like the ones that have like stuff all over them. And she said, well, these are beautiful, but if you ever find a rock that is very dark, if you pull it out of the water, if you pull it out of the river and the water is still on it and you shine it in the sun, it's the most beautiful rock there is. I mean, gorgeous. And I thought, like, okay. And it really wasn't that big of a deal to me as a kid because I thought, like, okay, whatever, it's just a rock. And I want ones that have patterns all over them. Grandma, in that conversation, told me, oh, I'm gonna cry. She told me that there was this man that worked with her when she used to work in these, like, chemical labs. And he was black. And she said that when they were inside, that he was a handsome man, but he was truly the most gorgeous person she'd ever seen. When they would go outside for breaks, she said he was usually sweating a little bit from working, and when we go outside we get like a little bit of a break. The water or the sweat that was going down his face, it would just kind of sit down his head or on his cheekbones. And she said he had to have been the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. She said, and it reminded me of these rocks that I would find from the river. They truly are the most beautiful thing that you've ever seen. They just glisten in the sun. And I just thought that was really sweet. And I was in my living room today and I was looking at some rocks that the girls had collected. I looked out my living room window and there was this girl, this black woman with very dark complexion walking down my street. And I know everyone who walks down these streets because I'm a stay-at-home mom and I just look out the window all day, like seriously. And she had her hair in a ponytail like this and she had highlighter on right here that I could see from my window. Like that's how much she was shining. And it was raining outside and there was just water like falling down her shoulders, and it just like hit me and I was like, wow, like Grandma was right. That is the most beautiful person I have ever seen in my life. Like she is literally glistening. She is shining just the same as Grandma had described this rock, or the guy that she used to work with and that I secretly think she's in love with. But just wow, she was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I was just watching her walk down the road. Don't know why she's walking down here, because no one here is worthy of all that beauty. This is not the best neighborhood. I was like, why are you here? Like, what the heck? I was gonna go out the door and just let her know she looks beautiful today, and when I opened the door, she was gone. She wasn't there. I was like, what the heck? Like, there's no way she made it past the point where I can't see her anymore. But it was just so weird that I was looking at these rocks and then I saw her, and just crazy. Because she really was gorgeous. I mean, like, wow, Grandma was not wrong.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about what the lady had to say on the comment section, But from all this, Maureen, when she was speaking, I feel like, for some reason, when someone keeps on telling you about how bad something is, if you don't have a personal experience, because there's a certain stereotype that goes on about black people, and this is why everywhere on earth, black people have to work especially hard to earn trust from people.
Yeah, because for the longest time, palm-colored people have sold the idea that black people are barbaric and nothing good can come out of black people or having melanin in your skin, up until, palm-colored people like these ones have started coming out and just saying one or two things they admire about black people. And this kind of reminds me of an episode we did earlier on our channel, where white people were going viral on TikTok because they jumped on a trend to say what they loved about black people. And what stuck with me in that episode, most of palm-colored people said that black people have spirit, meaning black people were warm.
Right. And I remember talking about this, and I'll always say this: everything black people do, Maureen, it has, like, they do it from the bottom of their heart. If it's cooking, they put some soul into it. If it's music, they put some soul into it. So everything is beautiful about black people. It's just so unfortunate that the white supremacy and everything beat down on black people so much that they implanted self-hate in some black people to the point where people are trying to get rid of their melanin through bleaching and whatnot,
Right. And also this reminds me that what we always insist on this platform, not everybody is bad, right? Even when we say that palm-colored people are bad, palm-colored are bad, which most of them are, I feel like for the most part, if they were willing or able to change their supremacist mindset, because they're born into it and they're they're incorporated into it to a point where they themselves don't see it is a problem to them and the whole world at large.
But it's going to take time. People like her are very few. The people who exist like her, very, very few. For someone to just come on a platform or someone to just use their platform to come out and say the truth about what they observe, it's very different. And you look at the beauty standards that the European has set, and black people are nowhere near those standards. So
I feel like for them to have set beauty standards to be that particular beauty standards, it stems from a place of insecurity. But that's just my opinion, guys. I feel like it stems from insecurities, because if you look even during the slavery eras, white people were making fun of how black people looked, especially white women. Yet they went on and invented this dress that have bum and this thing that they wear on the middle to push their boobies up, and
body shapers.
Yes, those ones. They invented body shapers, and they also invented those dresses to make them appear like
look
they have shapy, like they have volume. So this was stemming from a fact that I don't know how many of you guys know about Sarah Bathu. That was a South African slave who was taken to America, and she was really dehumanized while there, So what she is greatly known for was that she was blessed. When I say blessed, she had great behind and a great chest, and even her hips, she was hippie. So for those of you who don't know who Sarah Bathu is, please go and look her up. Her story was quite, it's a legend,
Yeah.
So this is why I'm saying,
Black
European people
special
that maybe European people wanted but couldn't have,
and it's unfortunate that I feel like a lot of people from the black nation, they really don't know what the kind of power they possess, just the beauty that they move that is within them. They're not aware of this, because if you look at a lot of black people, like what this woman observed, she did that in just a moment that, you know, brought that epiphany, you know. And if we really knew the power that we moved with, you wouldn't be finding people there are people who deliberately marry outside their race just so they can change,
they can improve their genes, meaning
the Danaros effect.
Yeah, wash out your black skin in order to trade a whiter skin for your baby.
Yeah, and you guys, I'll give you an example of someone who has managed to thrive with her melanin. If you look at, there's this model from is it Australia, who they took her from South Sudan, and she has that dark melanin.
Darker than ours, I can say.
Yeah. So if you go and look at them, I've forgotten.
And also there's also another model. I don't know if she's called Akech Adut. Akech Adut, I think, is also another big supermodel, and she survived in the industry with just having melanin on her skin. You know, so in short, what I'm trying to say about this episode today, I feel like although we appreciate the compliment, I don't believe that white people have to say that we are beautiful in order for most of us to believe that we are beautiful. I am glad that most of us are walking in our truth and are enlightened about the importance of us having melanin.
Right.
Although my heart bleeds for those who still aren't aware of the great power they hold by having melanin, hence going out to bleach their skin.
So I don't know, I think we can be showcasing the photos of the models here, but these ones are models, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
If they could penetrate,
they walk in their greatness with melanin.
Exactly, and then that's an industry that is very, very, how can you put it?
Judgmental?
Exactly, and they have
critical.
It's very critical, and for them to be that dark and they made it there, you know, it means their skin color has something to offer, you know. So anyway, guys, I think we're gonna be leaving it there. Let us know what you think about this episode, and I'll still maintain, you know, black people, we need to love ourselves. I know I do love myself, because you have a lot to offer on earth. You're very, very special, and you have a lot to offer on earth.
And just because oftentimes palm colored people shame you into whatever shame you into believing whatever you possess in terms of melanin, in terms of your boobies and bam. Those times that they shame you into, you know, hating yourself doesn't necessarily mean you have to hate yourself, because in secret they're admiring you. This is why Kim Kardashian has made famous the process of having plastic surgery in order to have all those features that come naturally to us.
We have a lot to be thankful for. So guys, let us know what you think about this episode. I think we're gonna be leaving it there. Also consider subscribing if you're new to this channel, and let us know what you think about this episode. We'll see you on our next episode.